My name is Lucy Large and I work for Tibbalds Planning and Urban Design, and today I will be talking about the Autism Toolkit. I'm going to ask for some audience participation. I would like you to think about what you see on your commute home from this evening's session, whether it is a bustling tube, an overcrowded bus, a delayed train. Now pair them with their sounds, the roaring of the underground, the tannoy announcements, construction vehicles manoeuvring, or shouted conversations over the phone. On top of all that, the typical smells of the city, different foods from neighbouring restaurants, idle cars emitting exhausts, or the oh-so-pleasant odour of people crammed into a tube car. I think we can all say that with all of that, your senses are certainly being stimulated. So to explain, I want to take a moment and explore our city through the lives of people with autism, an established group of neurodevelopmental disorders, meaning an individual with autism experiences the world differently. In the year 2000, 1 in 150 children were diagnosed with autism. When I started my research in 2019, it was up to 1 in 44. Ethan Lissy described his own autism as just another way of thinking and looking at the world. Comparing an Xbox and a PlayStation, he says that they are both highly capable consoles with different programming. But if you put your Xbox game in a PlayStation, it won't work because the PlayStation communicates differently. Our worlds are not designed for people with autism. Those experiences described earlier, crowded spaces, loud noises, overwhelming smells, create hostile environments which can cause overloads, meltdowns, and lead to isolation and exclusion. We all know about Sadiq Khan's all-inclusive growth strategy. However, there was a general approach to the people of London. For individuals with autism, there remains a huge number of aspects in the built environment that prohibit free movement, elements that cause stress, physical pain, depression, and anxiety. Autism is rarely discussed in our industry, with current research centred around architecture and the design of private facilities, separate spaces, and child-centred. Magda Mustafa, the leading practitioner in architecture for autism, has established the first set of evidence-based design guidelines for architecture. She recognises the need for spaces to be redesigned to reduce sensory input. And we are already starting to look at our environments from new perspectives, be it sustainability, diversity, inclusivity, to physical accessibility, and cities for children and women. We as placemakers and designers have an opportunity and a responsibility to bring together the existing knowledge and translate the information into our cities. My toolkit is a set of design guidelines which presents 5 interventions. There is already a lot of work being done to diversify green spaces within our city, and traffic calming is already a popular topic of conversation, so I won't dwell on those. Today, I want to focus on the idea of sensory paths, visual aids, and refuge pockets. Sensory paths are alternative passages which can be included within the existing fabric of the city, similar to quiet cycle networks. They can be made up of a variety of interventions to ensure a reduction in sensory input, varying from small structures that reduce sound to soft landscaping and tree planting that detract from visual input. A visual aid is the use of a picture to communicate, which can be used at home to develop mind mapping techniques that can improve perception, legibility, and orientation within the city. The use of visual aids can enable autistic individuals to run errands, walk to school, go to work, and take part in daily life with the reassurance of familiarity. It has been identified the need to provide calming and easily accessible, sensory-neutral environments for individuals with autism. The toolkit offers design guidance for specialist interventions that can vary from small, intimate spaces such as a repurposed telephone box to recognised organisations with trained staff to assist personal needs. As part of the toolkit, it was essential that where there is conflict with other users, such as the visually or hearing impaired, it was not a case of designing out these crucial elements. As such, the toolkit can sit alongside documents such as the Manual for Streets and become national guidance and referred to across industries. Once we begin to think about autism in our industry, we can build it into the city's fabric, and it doesn't have to stop at guidance. We can take the toolkit directly to the user, developing digital tools and apps similar to the likes of the City Mapper that can map sensory paths, highlight zones of high sensory input, and map refuge zones and safe spaces. The toolkit is just a starting point. We have a unique opportunity to make a substantial change in improving the lives of people with autism. In summary, the toolkit aims to achieve two things: increased awareness in our industry, and most importantly, unlocking our cities for people with autism. Thank you for listening.